The guests and discussions on this show are not endorsed by the show or show host. The content is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Nothing you hear is intended to substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, and/or treatment by a qualified health professional.
Welcome to Health Revolution with V, your integrative health adventure. Welcome to the Health Revolution with V show. I am so excited for the guests that we have here today. I do want to say quickly that this show, the Health Revolution with V, is all about all things holistic and integrative health. So everything that incorporates our health beyond just the food on our plate. My website is eatingwithv.com, and you can find lots of great information there. I'm a certified integrative nutrition health coach, but we are here today to talk about a whole different area of life, which is that of grief. And my guest today, Wanda, is actually the author of the book, Say Their Name, A Mother's Expression of Healing and Love. And through the unexpected loss of her beloved son, Calvin, in 2016, and in 2022, the unexpected loss of her beloved daughter, Burgundy, Wanda shares her gift of healing with the world. This is an incredible woman. I can't wait to start interviewing her. After receiving many accolades for her poetry and learning the impact of her poems had on parents going through grief of the loss of a child, she was encouraged to share her work in honor of her son, Calvin. So without further ado, I want to bring on Miss Wanda Weathersby. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. I am so excited to have you here. Now, from the day we met, Wanda and I had met out actually networking in women's groups, and her energy has just been this dynamic force. And then she's this beautiful person, like from the inside radiating all the way out. She's a beautiful human. So I think you're really going to enjoy this interview today, and her soul, like she shares her soul with you. And she's a really great hugger. So if you have the opportunity, you definitely want to hug her when you see her. She loves those things. So Wanda, tell us more about you, the person you.
Well, I love writing. Writing, I have found that to be very healing for me. And I am married. And I always tell people when they ask me or I'm introduced, and I always say I have 5 children. I don't mention that I've had a child or children that have passed away. And I just love to spend time with my family. I get up in the morning and I'm reading the Bible, I'm exercising. I have a little short list of things that I do that gets my day started. And I just love people and love listening to people's stories as well.
Wow. And she's amazing, and she looks amazing. You can tell that she gets up and does these self-care rituals, which again is a part of integrative health. But we would love to hear more about your story. But tell us something about you that might be like a fun fact that people wouldn't know about you.
Well, I don't advertise it much, but most people don't know that I'm a reflexologist, and I love and understand the power of touch. And I really do enjoy massaging feet and watching people relax.
I had no idea. You were a reflexologist.
Yes.
Oh, that's a whole nother conversation we have to have. Are you practicing reflexology, or is that just something?
That's with family and friends now. So I'm not really doing it other than that.
So I'm going to have to make her something wonderful to eat, and we'll have to do some kind of a trade. I love that. So let's talk about some of the challenges, because your subject is very deep to the core. And for a lot of people, like grief and loss in itself is difficult for people. But the loss of a child, I mean, I can't even imagine the devastation there. So let's talk about some of the challenges that you had along the way after that happened.
My biggest challenge at the beginning of losing my son, as well as my daughter, I couldn't stop crying. I would wake up crying, I'd go to bed crying, and that's when the writing came in. That was a big challenge to me because I felt like I just had like a bucket of tears, and it just took me time to move and process through my grief, to not cry every day. That was a big challenge for me.
And overcoming that, you overcoming that challenge, which is huge. I mean, that is a huge deal for people. How are you helping other people through that same challenge now?
I help people through being a good listener, because a lot of times when someone loses someone, they really just want to talk about the loss of their loved one. And I think that more and more people need someone to talk to share their heart with, because when you lose someone, you want them to be, even though they're not here, you want them to be remembered. And if you get someone that's willing to listen to you and allowing you to say the name of your loved one, that's really, really, really special for them.
So that was the inspiration then for Say Their Name, the name of your book.
The inspiration came actually from my husband, because he thought that by saying my son's name, that it would cause me to cry. But when you say my son's name, Calvin, and you say my daughter's name, Burgundy, it actually brings me joy. It lets me know that you remember them. And if I'm at the dinner table and if my husband wants to share a story about Calvin or a story about Burgundy, that really helps me a lot.
That's a completely different perspective, right? Than most people. Mm-hmm. When we think of grief, that's like, oh my God, don't speak the name around, so you don't bring up like bad memories or sad memories. But that right there, that's a true testament of healing. Mm-hmm. When you say the name and it brings joy instead of that loss.
Yes.
And how long did it take you to go through that process?
Of writing or of saying?
Of getting yourself to the space where you were able to be more healed and talk about it.
When you first lose someone, it's as if someone comes along and snatches the rug from underneath you, and you're so unsteady. It feels like you can't stand, you can hardly walk. And I would say a good year or maybe 2 that it took me to walk through the process of my healing of the loss of my son, as well as my daughter.
And in such a short gap of time, too.
Yes.
I mean,
well, actually, it was Calvin died in 2016 and Burgundy passed away just last year. So,
but that's only 6 years.
In
wow.
all of my thinking and dreaming, I would never imagine losing another child, because I'm moving along, getting over the first hurdle of the first loss. And I feel like I'm pulling it together. And then there's another loss that pulls me back in to the grief beginning process of grieving again.
For sure. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Now, do you think that Calvin being with you maybe helped you a little bit in the loss of Burgundy?
I think if you read my book, you will hear and read where Calvin's voice is speaking, where I literally could hear him as I'm writing the words down. I could really hear like he's whispering in my ear, telling me what to write, letting me know, Mom, I'm okay, and I see you cry, and all the things that I've written in the book through the poetry that I've written, that I believe he pulled me through that. And yes, having lost Calvin and then to lose Burgundy, it didn't mean that it was any easier. It did mean that I had experienced that kind of loss before. And yes, he has helped me.
Yes. Wow. Well, we still have a lot to talk about. Don't go away. We do have to visit our commercial sponsor. So those are the people that help make this show possible for us all. So don't go away. We'll be right back. We have more from Wanda. Have you been told that you need to cut way back on sugars due to a health condition? Do you find yourself struggling to give up the sugars even though you know your health depends upon it? If you answered yes, my online Hidden Sugars class is for you. Take charge of your health and visit eatingwithv.com and take the class.
Interstate Express Incorporated is your local and statewide 24/7 courier service. Woman-owned and veteran-friendly, serving the entire state of Florida since 1990. We pick up and deliver anything from an envelope to a 5,000-pound load. Give us a call, 772-287-2137. Interstate Express.
Aapex Electric is a family-owned and operated, licensed and insured electrical contractor with over 30 years of experience. No job is too big or too small. With free estimates and a 1-year warranty, Aapex Electric is your premier contractor on the Treasure Coast. AAPEXElectricinc.com.
Awakened Mind, powered by BrainTap, is the ultimate relaxation and focus solution. BrainTap helps reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance relaxation effortlessly. Enjoy better sleep and overall well-being. Try BrainTap today at tribelifecoach.com.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution with V Show. I am here with Miss Wanda Weathersby, an amazing woman and author of the book Say Their Name, A Mother's Expression of Healing and Love. So Wanda, let's get right back to it. Let's now talk about your book.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
We're going to talk about the poetry book or the workbook?
Well, let's start with the book itself.
Okay.
Because the workbook is new. We want to talk
Okay.
about that launch too, but let's talk about the book itself.
Well, in the book, it is all poetry, and I am writing from my heart, and I'm sharing with you not only poems that I hear my son speaking, but poems that will really gravitate and touch your heart. Even the very first poem, when I go over that poem, you will feel what I'm feeling and what I have felt through the years in that loss of losing him. And just, I think when you get to the meat of it, you will be able to relate. No matter if you've lost a sister, brother, mother, father, you will be able to relate to the loss of a loved one because it touches each face, all of those.
So it's just all about loss. Like, I lost my father when I was 14.
Okay.
And my father took his own life. So that was something that was like a struggle for many years. You know what I mean? To get through that. So I think you're helping other people with that kind of loss. You know, like I definitely have to. I said I had a book and I gave it away. So I have to get another one. But is there a way, is there a favorite poem in there that you might want to share with us?
You know, I don't really have a favorite. I love all of the poems, but there is a poem that is titled When the Night Falls, because I find when someone lays down to go to sleep, that's when a flood of memories come. That's when the tears start. So when the night falls.
When the Night Falls. So when you get the book, you want to go to When the Night Falls. Well, you want to read the whole thing, but you want to go to When the Night Falls. While we're right here, why don't you tell them where they can find the book?
You can find the book, the second edition of the book. It is blue. It is on Amazon. It's also on my website, but I would just encourage you, almost everyone has Amazon. So you would go to Amazon and find the book there as well as the workbook.
Tell us your website.
It is www.forhim36.com, and you can go there and just take a look at the website as well. The book is also in Spanish, and I recently finished doing the book in audio. So if you don't have time to read, you can actually listen to me, the author, reading the book to you.
And that soothing voice. Why would you not want to have her reading you the book? You can listen to it while you're driving in your car. So For Him 36, is that the FOR or the number 4?
FOR.
Okay.
HIM 36.
And the 36?
You know, the 36 that's the age of my son when he passed away.
Gotcha. So For Him, FORHIM 36.com. Awesome. So make sure you go get a book. Anyone who's grieving, that's something that you'll want to do. So let's talk now about the workbook. Tell us how that came to be, and is it a complementary book to the first book?
It really is. The workbook is just something you can write down as you go over your healing. I go over the shock, denial, anger, and bargaining, as well as depression and acceptance. And those stages of grief are not all in that particular order, but we all experience grief differently. And there's a chapter in the book titled Accepting the Loss. And it's when someone leaves, it's not easy to accept at first, because for me, you just want to wake up and say, okay, I had a bad dream yesterday, and that is not the case. So it was tough for me to get through that accepting part that my son Calvin and my daughter Burgundy are no longer with us.
So you've well, everybody's journey, like you said, is different. So when they go through the grief, some people might accept it faster and some might not. So you take them through, in the workbook, you take them through the stages as you went through them?
I just take them basically through the stages of grief, and there are questions for them to answer so they can pull from their own heart and become a writer themselves in answering those questions that I have placed in the book for them.
Which is also a very healing, I know for me, like writing is very healing. Sometimes just purge writing, when we feel like overwhelmed with things, or super challenged, we can just write, and it all just comes out. So is it kind of similar to that? On each topic, they can actually just kind of write what they're going?
Absolutely. On each topic, you can actually write about what you're feeling and what you have felt through your loss as well.
Wow. So what have you learned on this grief journey that you've had that would encourage others living with grief? How could you help those people?
I've learned through this time of grieving that it's painful, and it's a pain like I've never felt before. And I've learned to walk through this with others that have gone through this kind of pain before. And in writing this, the book was written for my son Calvin. And in the second edition of the Blue Book, I have a poem in there for Burgundy, because it was getting ready to go to print when we had lost Burgundy, and I put that in there toward the end of it. So from beginning to end, from driving from Wyoming to Colorado on a snowy day, going to my son's apartment, putting the key in the door, and just scanning the living room looking for him because I hadn't heard from him for a few days, that I walk into the room, and I walk into his bedroom, and I'm actually talking to him. He's on the floor, which is not uncommon for him to lay down on the floor and sleep. So I'm standing at the door saying, oh, I'm so glad you're all right. I actually said, I'm so glad you're all right. And I said, I'm not upset that you didn't return my call. I'm just glad you're all right. So then I stooped down to touch him, and I found my son lifeless. And in finding that, I get up, I go into the living room, and my husband said, is he in there? And I just nod my head. And I run out of the door crying. When I look back on it, I think I should have just stayed there to be with him during those final time before they came to take him away. But it helped me in that my husband was there, and I just didn't know what else to do other than just run and cry. So I ran from what I saw and what I felt.
And sometimes I know, like, the way I feel with situations like that is like when their spirit has moved on, it's almost like not even them anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like with his spirit being gone, you not going back in there was not that you didn't love him or should have been there, but his spirit wasn't even there,
exactly
anymore. But I know, and I feel your emotion too, because even with my father's been gone for so many years, and I still sometimes can get that well up, like, and it's been, gosh, like almost 40 years. So, but we all have that connection, I think.
Yes.
But I am so grateful that you were able to open up here and share that part of you with us. We're going to have to take a quick commercial break, but don't go away, because Wanda is going to share with us one of her beautiful poems when we return. So don't go away.
At Your Body Bliss, our passion is creating handcrafted bath and body products for your entire family. From our hand-poured soaps and authentic Castile soap to incredible lotions and more, all made with ethically sourced quality ingredients. With love from our family to yours, yourbodybliss.com.
The Health Revolution with V Show is your hub for all things integrative, holistic, and natural health on the Treasure Coast. If you are in the natural health arena and would like to be on the show and or advertise with us, please visit eatingwithv.com and click Health Revolution with V.
Are you looking for an action-packed adventure? We have unforgettable birthday parties, events, and more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join us at Port St. Lucie's only paintball park. Call 772-812-0000 or visit invinciblespaintball.com.
Is your insurance company telling you that you have to replace your roof? Neese Roofing is a family and veteran-owned and operated local business. Choose peace of mind and quality work with this Owens Corning Platinum Certified contractor. Join thousands of satisfied customers. Visit neeseroofing.com. Welcome back to the Health Revolution with V Show. What an amazing show today, full of emotion and hope and healing. It's just so wonderful to have Wanda Weathersby here with us today, the author of Say Their Name, A Mother's Expression of Healing and Love. So Wanda, can you please tell us a little bit about your social medias? Everybody's on social media today. Where are you on social media?
Oh, I would love for people to find me on Wanda Weathersby Author on Instagram. I am also on Facebook as well, and I would love to connect with the audience through Instagram.
Awesome. So you prefer Instagram, but you're on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
Now, is your Facebook handle Wanda Weathersby Author also?
My Facebook is Wanda Lily, Lilly, Weathersby, because
Okay.
Lily was my maiden name.
Okay.
And my friends from high school find me through having my maiden name there.
Okay. So it's really just your more of a personal page on Facebook, and then your business page is Instagram.
Yes,
Wanda
correct.
Weathersby Author.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And her website is forhim, FORHIM 36.com, forhim36.com. So I'm excited. Wanda's going to share with us one of her amazing poems. So if you would.
Okay. The title of this poem is When the Night Falls. It says, thoughts racing through my mind when you were here. Will I dream of you tonight? Will it be your voice I hear? Lay my head on my pillow. The tears seem to fall. Realizing when the phone rings again, it won't be you to call. Time is so precious and quickly went away. No warning to tell me soon would be your last day. Would I have clung to you more and never left your side? Would I take your hand and say, I love you? When the night falls, my heart reminds me once again, you are no longer here, and heaven is now your eternity. When the night falls, I'm reminded this day, my beloved child has really gone away to a place where there is no pain, only peace, love, and joy you have gained. Your mother's heart will never be the same. Each day I awake to my heart of pain. My child, a part of me you will forever be, and my love for you shall last for all eternity. I realize never again will you call, and my heart so aches when the night falls.
So beautiful. I think anybody that has lost anybody can relate to that poem for sure. And they can put that person in there. Gosh, Wanda, thank you so much for joining us today on the show.
Thank you for having me.
What a beautiful, beautiful show. I mean, and you sharing your heart with us, that was just amazing. I think anyone can connect with Wanda. Don't forget, go to forhim36.com. Again, forhim36.com. You can also find her on Instagram, Wanda Weathersby Author.
Yes.
and on Facebook at Wanda Lily Weathersby.
Yes.
Awesome. And you can also find the show on my YouTube. And if easiest way is just to go to eatingwithv.com, and all of the Health Revolution with V shows will be there. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Wanda, for being with us. And we'll see you on the next episode of Health Revolution with V.